Alright, so what we're working on today is a Maverick 88 shotgun. This is a shotgun that I don't use all that much, and I think I'd get some more use out of it if I threw a red dot on there. I don't currently have a shotgun with a red dot, so I figured I'd try it. So this is just a stock Maverick 88, as you can see, completely broken down. Carrier removed, all of that, shell lifter, everything removed out of it. In addition to that, I have a Picatinny rail that I will be using as kind of a sacrificial guide as we go along here to drill and tap. I also have two number 28 drill bits, and they will be used to drill out. I also have an 840 tap, so we'll use that to tap the receiver. A set of calipers just to measure everything out and make sure that it's good to go. And then finally the mount and the red dot. In this case, it's just a Vortex Viper, kind of cheapy. I think I bought it from AA Optics, refurbed a few years ago for, I want to say, maybe $100 at most. And that's on a Monstrum tactical mount. I'm not the biggest fan of all time of Monstrum, but their solution to this actually looks pretty good. So we'll see. If nothing else, I will have the receiver drilled and tapped at the end of this, and I could always throw on a Picatinny mount if that's the direction that it needs to go. So far what I've done here on this receiver, just like a Mossberg 500 receiver, there are all these little ridges kind of that run across the top of the receiver. So all I've done so far to prepare this is I took my calipers, I measured the width of this, so the width of that top rib, and then I cut it in half and I just used a lead pencil to kind of strike a line down the center. And I know it's really difficult to focus on that line, but I do have the line from the front of the receiver, if it wants to focus, all the way to the back. And that is kind of the midline that we'll be using to line up the sacrificial guide, and that's what we'll go off of. Well, this is by far not scientific in this case, but this is what we're gonna go with. So I basically used the Picatinny rail. I threw it on there, and that's this Picatinny rail. I threw it on there and tried to just line up about where I thought it should go. And we're gonna drill and tap the first hole, and then we're gonna use the screws for this and kind of pseudo install this using one screw afterwards, and then use that for the template for the rest of the holes. So as long as this first hole is right, we should be okay moving forward, but we're gonna go ahead and drill this. Looks good. Let's get it cleaned up. It does look pretty close. I'm not going to say it's perfect, but it does look pretty darn close. So what I have here, this is a machinist tap handle is what I've seen it called several times. So there's like a little piece that goes up in your drill press chuck, and it's actually magnetic. So you can't put any torque with the drill press onto the tap, which you wouldn't want to do anyhow. Because you want to tap by hand, especially in this case with something kind of so delicate. So yeah, we'll get it started. I am going to get some tap fluid, and we'll do that, but I just wanted to make sure that everything lined up first. All right, back with a little bit of fluid. Just put that around. It should be plenty. Oh my gosh, it's a little too much, but that's okay. All right, so all I'm going to do is put a little bit of pressure with the drill press. We're going to slowly work this guy in. You can hear it cutting. That's good. You. 'Cause. 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 'C Just putting the slightest pressure down. Let the tap do the work here. Alright, we're definitely through at this point. I'm just kind of letting the tap do its work, clearing all the chips out, all of that kind of stuff. And now we'll back it out. Good to go. Alright, so here's kind of the moment of truth. Let me turn this laser off. So this is an 840 screw from that Monstrum Picatinny rail. That actually feels pretty good. We'll use an Allen wrench real quick, and we'll just run it in all the way and back out once. All right, and that actually tightens up nice there, so we'll run it back out. Awesome. So now we can actually take the Monstrum Picatinny rail and pseudo install it. Like I said, this is going to be kind of sacrificial by the end of this thing, unless I'm really good at this, which I don't think I am. But we're going to go ahead and just get that installed. Sure we find the threads. We have. All right. So what I've done is I've added just a quick pair of like needle nose channel locks. That's what I would call them. I don't know if that's the proper name. I am by far not a machinist. This is pretty garage backwoods here. But yeah, so now what I'm using is I'm using that pick rail to line up my holes. I centered it as best as I could, left to right, and should be pretty close. So we'll go ahead and drill the next hole. Ready for hole number 3 lined up. And number 4. Holes are done. Alright, so these holes are not, I won't say they're perfect. They're pretty close though. I think they'll be good enough for what I need here. So we're just going to go ahead and tap them, see what happens. Moment of truth here we go. I will go ahead and Loctite these after this video, of course. All right. That's actually pretty good. I'll take it. Awesome. All in all, I do think this worked out really well. You can kind of see it's not perfectly aligned, but it's certainly close enough, and I can adjust the red dot to compensate for, 1/64th of an inch or something like that of imperfection. For a $200 shotgun and to throw a $20 mount on there with a couple of dollars in tools, I think this was worth it. I'll be excited to get out and get it sighted in and, take some shots with it. Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening. Stay safe, stay armed, buy cool guns, and have fun.